Hello everyone, Mind Audio Central here, and a while back I made a video called Subliminals 101, and thank you guys, by the way, for just giving it so many views. That video really blew up after I uploaded it, and I'm glad to know I was able to help everybody answer their questions and help everybody understand subliminals more. And today I'm going to make a more updated version of that video because there's new techniques, new ways to listen to subliminals, and better ways to listen to subliminals for better comfort, results, etc. So this video will be a lot more helpful than my last video. Yes, it's going to be a little more jam-packed because there's tons of questions to answer and there's tons of things to talk about when referring to subliminals. So if you have a question, please wait and listen through this entire video. I might actually answer your question because I took a lot of the questions I got off YouTube, and this video will literally answer like 90% of them. Yes, 90%. So this video is just basically going to be Subliminals 101 version 2 or Subliminals 102, whatever I decide to call it. And first of all, we're going to go over what can I do during a subliminal. So this is a very common question and it has a very simple answer: either relax or meditate. If you don't know how to meditate, just go ahead and relax. You know, anything that's really close to that, just really relaxed state, because you want to be relaxed and just comfortable while you're listening to a subliminal. And make sure to get in a comfortable sitting or lying down position. You don't want anything aching or whatever while you're in this position. You want to be as comfortable as possible. I also recommend not moving. You know, if you have a scratch, completely fine. You know, that's okay, but just try not to move a ton. Be in a quiet room. I suggest a very quiet room where you will not be disturbed, you know, because you don't want somebody maybe disturbing you in the middle of the subliminal, because I do prefer that you listen the whole way through without interruptions. If you get interruptions, is that going to affect your results? No, but I just recommend it. So what can I do to get the best results? And then there's also just some answers to some pretty basic questions. So use earbuds or headphones, just as long as you're not listening through speakers, and make sure to use both channels. Don't use one earbud or one side of your headphones, use both sides. And the reason I have people do this is because I put binaurals in my subliminals now, which actually help make your mind more susceptible to the subliminal messages, and it helps you get into a more comfortable state while you're listening. So you want the stereo channel going. So if you have like mono headphones, that won't work. You need at least stereo headphones. They're really cheap, really easy to get. You know, I don't suggest, you know, incredibly cheap ones like Apple EarPods. Yes, they do work, but for better results, I do suggest you have maybe a bit better headphones, you know, maybe in the $7 to like $20 range. You really don't need to get that something that expensive, but I do suggest better headphones, you know, higher quality headphones, because they do work a lot better for subliminals, and you will definitely enjoy the listening experience a lot more. Also, visualize yourself with the desired results. If you can't do this, then just skip ahead a couple seconds, but if you can do this, this really does help you out a lot. Basically, think of yourself looking into a mirror and try to imagine just every last detail of yourself while you're looking into this imaginary mirror for the next 5 minutes. If you can't visualize, and you could take a picture of what you want your results to look like, but visualizing is definitely more powerful, and I really strongly suggest that you practice your power to imagine, because not only is it just helpful when you're listening to subliminals, but it's just awesome to have a really great imagination. You would definitely love it, and I've seen a lot of people that, you know, had a hard time visualizing, and once I recommended them to some videos where they could practice visualization, they absolutely loved it. So I recommend it to you as well. Also, drink lots of fluids, especially water, in between subliminals. The reason you want to do this is because you want to keep your body hydrated, and because the brain has just a lot of blood going up in there, you want to keep that hydrated too, because blood is made mostly of water and you need lots of water. It really helps up brain functionality, and you need brain functionality when you're listening to a subliminal. Also, in between subliminals, I suggest you take a couple minutes to just get up and move around a bit and get, you know, kind of blood flowing, through you again. And the reason is, once again, you know, you got a lot of blood, you know, up in the brain, so you want to get that flowing again in between subliminals. I suggest maybe just, you know, getting up and walking around for 1 to 3 minutes between subliminals if you have the time to do so. Also, take subliminals at least once a day. This sounds so much like a prescription drug, sorry. Listen to subliminals at least once a day. You can listen to the same subliminal for up to 6 times a day, but you can listen to varieties of different subliminals, and you can listen to subliminals from other makers as well. That also is completely fine. You don't have to listen to subliminals from one maker. Also, you know, I you can just listen. You don't have to look at the visuals of the subliminal. I just put, maybe a repeating video or something in there because, you can't just upload audio to YouTube. So just listen. You don't have to watch the video whatsoever. I don't do visual subliminals because I feel that's a little too distracting to the viewer, and it does strain the eyes quite a bit, so I don't want to do that to you guys. Also, any volume works fine. It doesn't really matter what volume you choose, but I do recommend you choose a very comfortable volume. You can also listen again to multiple different subliminals from other makers, and even subliminals for the same topic from other makers, and that actually helps your results as well. Also, do not ask for affirmations. I know a lot of people have been asking this and, wondering why. But the reason is a subliminal is supposed to be for the subconscious, not the conscious. If you know the affirmations, then they are in your conscious now instead of your subconscious. But that doesn't mean you can't use affirmations to your advantage. Instead, come up with a list of your own affirmations and read them off a couple times before listening. I've heard from a lot of people that have used that technique, and they got some amazing results. When listening to something like learning languages, for example, do not actually listen while learning the language. It's meant as a boost for your brain to get it kind of, ready for learning a language, and it's telling it, hey, you're better at learning languages, and then, as soon as you're done listening, you are more prepared to learn that language. So when listening to a skill subliminal, don't actually listen while learning that skill. Listen before learning that skill. I suggest at least maybe 24 hours before at least. So, again, that's completely up to you based on your schedule, but that's just my recommendation. Also, you will start seeing some minor changes in the first couple of weeks and a bit more major results within the first month of listening. Finalized results, or just final results where you finally get to your final goal of the subliminal, varies per person, so I can't exactly give anybody an estimate. Very sorry about that. Downloading subliminals also, I've heard this a lot around my channel. Well, first of all, that infringes copyright because I now have the copyrights to my content, so I just want to make sure nobody's breaking the law here, because I really don't need anybody breaking the law just because they want mind audio. So please just refrain from doing that. But also because YouTube is a streaming service, sometimes it can compress it a little bit when you do try to download it. But it is completely fine if you use it offline with YouTube Red, because they have allowed you to just download that uncompressed in a safer way. But if you use like a website to download it or whatever, yeah, that's not going to work because it's going to compress it based on your internet connection, etc. Just a lot of other variables. Subliminals work for people of any age, gender, or race. Your ability to get results from subliminals is not limited by these factors, and all results from subliminals are permanent unless you listen to a subliminal to reverse the effects afterwards. I suggest you listen to subliminals while you are awake, but it is completely fine if you accidentally fall asleep while listening. If you do listen to subliminals while listening, make sure not to listen to them all the time while listening, as you do need to have those days where you just fall asleep with no mind audio playing, because you want to give your brain that time to basically repair itself. Also, subliminals aren't supposed to hurt you whatsoever, so if you feel you have a headache or maybe some pain in certain areas of your body, that is not from the subliminal. That is either from listening to subliminals too much, the headache part, or if you maybe feel some pain in certain parts of your body, that's probably because of the way you're positioned. So make sure to position yourself in a very comfortable manner. Also, if you want to learn more about subliminals, I would love to tell you guys all about subliminals, but that would literally take me like half an hour because there's a lot of extensive knowledge you can get on it. So here's what I suggest to anybody who would love to maybe learn, a little or maybe a lot about subliminals. This is for everybody. So literally just search what subliminals are on Google. I mean, you will find some very, very interesting results, especially the history of subliminals. I mean, you can get some pretty basic information and you can get some pretty complex information from Wikipedia and a lot of other websites out there. Also, when wondering, what the hell is a subliminal for, check the title of the video. If you don't understand a word, just look it up. Seriously, go to Google and just type in define and then the word you want to define, and it will literally just give you the definition just like that. Also, make sure to check for the subliminal that you are thinking of requesting before you request it. I know a lot of people, may struggle with this, but all you got to do is go to YouTube and you can literally just search under all the videos in my channel. I don't know if this works for mobile, but this is definitely a function that PC users have. Also, just a little information at the end of this video. If you would love to see, all the mind audio on my channel improve in the future, and, see me get better equipment, I do suggest that you donate to me on Patreon. It's a fun little website where people basically get rewards for funding me, and you can also just fund me, without getting rewards too if you want to do that. And it's basically something where you can just pick an amount that you want to donate to me monthly, and I will basically in the future, when I have more patrons basically donating to me, I will release cool things on my Patreon, and it'll be basically exclusively for people who are donating, and I might even do giveaways there in the future as well. So I might want to check that out, because I would really love just donations from you guys, because it really helps me improve. Every donation counts. Also, if you need a request done, I know a lot of people ask about those too. There is a list for all my requests in the description. I left a link, and basically all you got to do is just log in with like your Google Plus account, your Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and then you can add stuff to the list, and you can vote other subliminals up and down based on if you want them to be made or not. And the subliminals at the top of the list, every once in a while, I will take them off and put them on my personal request list, so they will be made. So thanks for listening to this video. Sorry it was kind of long, but I had to fit a lot of information into this video. And if you guys still have any further questions, please ask in the comments. I'm totally open to answering your questions. So that's pretty much it for this video, and until next video, I will see you guys later. Have an amazing day.